Hello everyone, welcome to your MBBS guide, The Horizon. Today we will be discussing about one of the most important topics, that is 3 R's. These 3 R's are an integral part of my life. These 3 R's stands for read, revise and recall. First, I will be introducing these topics to you. What we will be discussing under the topic read. What to read, what can be the reading source and how much we have to read. Second comes revise, how frequently we need revision. What can be the time required to revise something, or does it depend on the subjects or not. Second comes recall. This is the toughest of all, but requires just 3 minutes. First, discussing about read, what to read and how much to read. What to read? Okay, this depends on the textbook that you are referring, the lectures and the PPTs that are shared by your teachers. Which textbook you want to read, that really depends on you, the type of textbook that suits you. NMC introduces the competencies and we need to learn according to these competencies. Nothing more or less than this is required. Complete all the SLOs. That stands for Student Learning Objective. All the SLOs should be covered at the end of your chapter. Revise. Of course, revision depends upon the subject. Talking about first year MBBS, anatomy is the subject that requires very frequent revision, and number of revision should be more for anatomy when compared to other subjects. Second most important thing is write while revising. When you write something, that short-term memory is converted into your long-term memory. So writing something is very important. Keeping the time limit in our mind, you can skip this process when it comes to biochemistry and physiology, but speaking strictly about anatomy, you cannot skip writing whatever you have read before. Revision can also be done alone or in small groups. If you are discussing something, you are just uttering the words frequently and then that words get engraved in your head. Second comes biochemistry. Definitely biochemistry reads less number of revision when compared to anatomy, but yeah, revision for biochemistry is required. Physiology, it is retained for a longer period of time when you study any topic in detail and prepare notes for physiology. You need to revise it just once before your sessional exams and before your weekly exams. Third comes the most important topic of today's discussion, that is recall. Most of us skip this part. All of us complete read, but when it comes to revision, 50% of us do that process. But when it comes to recall, just I think 1 or 2% of people follow this process. It requires very high concentration. Needs highest concentration. It is the toughest of all and least time taking. Recalling anything just requires 3 minutes, no matter how large the topic was, how much time you invested in that topic in reading and revising. But recalling that topic just need 3 minutes. You need to sit, close your eyes and try to get the pictorial memory of the source from which you read things or revised things, and that's the point where your short-term memory will convert it into your long-term memory. Recall is also enforced by a recall diary, about which I am going to discuss. It's a small diary in which you need to write all the points that are tongue-twisting names that you cannot remember for a long period of time, and you need to open that diary and read it. Just give a single reading when you go to bed and when you wake up in the morning. Doing this just twice a day, investing 10 minutes in this process will give you 100 times return in future. Recall diary is a must when it comes to subject like anatomy, pharmacology that is memory based. You need to have a recall diary and that help you a lot. Thank you and have a nice day.